I'm Bevan Varland. I'm a chef, artist, and food for me represents laughter, enjoyment and family. Food should be creative, it should be full of heart, it should be punchy with flavour. I want to be able to link people back with their own food connection and help them become better cooks, better growers and enjoy their own food stories. I'm on a mission to show people how local, homegrown and sustainable food can be awesome.
G'day guys, welcome to Food to Eat. I'm Bev Varland. You know, it's always been a bit of a dream of mine to have a garden in suburbia that we can be completely sustainable of. So our episode today focuses on the construction of my awesome new veggie garden, which is right behind me. So it's an amazing kind of garden. It's really aromatic. It's got lots of beautiful food you can eat, fruit and veggies, edible flowers, everything you can imagine that's going to be absolutely fantastic. So welcome to my vegetable garden. That's right, it's been a long time coming. I've been speaking about it for many, many years, but here we are finally at a stage just before the soil goes in. So over the last couple of weeks I've been working on our garden beds. Now as you can see here, she's quite big. She's quite big. So the entire space is a space of about we're going to say 12 metres by about 6 metres. So it's quite big. Now that's probably the size, realistically, of most people's suburban backyard. So let me take you on a bit of a tour of the entire veggie garden and show you where things are going to go. Right, now, so we're going to start here into my fragrant garden area. These babies here are actually my boy's old trampoline. We had a big windstorm here in Bacchus Marsh, and my boy's trampoline got flipped over. I've kept the arches, and what I've done here is I've created these spring systems so I can actually plant white grapes, red grapes. In this section here, this is a bit junky at the moment. All these bricks were from the building of our house. That's going to go in a beautiful pathway. And this section here, which is about 3 metres by 6 metres, is going to be where our little chickens live. So the chickens are going to supply us with eggs. They're going to break down some of our vegetable scraps, as well as a few compost heaps that will go in here as well. And all their manure is going to go back in the garden, give some good edible flowers, beautiful fragrant herbs that all the bees are going to come in and love. Here's our next arch, second arch in here like this. As you can see here, I've already bought a couple of passion fruits. So we've got a golden Panama passion fruit, we've got a red Panama passion fruit. They're going to come up here, grow up all these vines here, and this beautiful wall of passion fruit onto our Burbosque pear. So we're hoping this little baby, we planted him about 3 years ago, we're hoping this year that he's going to fruit. Fingers crossed. More herbs down under here, more herbs. A beautiful Fuji apple tree down here. There's this section in here, which is currently full of waste and junk, with our plum tree here. A beautiful Angelina plum is going to be our edible flower section. Down into our second orchard, big long bed here. Granny Smith apple. We've got new apricot. We've got a beautiful quince tree for my nana there, and we've got a peach tree. So this is the main space, orchard, and all littered around in all these places around in here. It's going to be beautiful fresh herbs. There's going to be fountain grass. There's going to be all things that bring the beautiful bees in to get the nectar and pollinate the fruit trees. These are my garden beds. Okay, so these little babies here are about 2 metres by 90. Now, if you can imagine the amount of vegetables that are going to come out of there. Now I'm going to be probably buying about $100 worth of seeds. Now that $100 worth of seeds will probably realistically last me about 3 seasons. If you can imagine here, veggies, all my beautiful little strawberries. I've got all these herbs that are already growing, some of which I'm going to move into the gardens when they're ready to go. Another garden bed here, beautiful. This is for my 2 big boys to do. All these herbs in here, all my sages, my basils, my marjorams, thymes, they're all going to go underneath our fruit trees so they can bring all the bees right in close. That's all going to be full of vegetables. That's all going to be full of vegetables. As a point of reference, this particular bed here, which last season was my tomato bed, produced me 6 kilos of tomatoes. We also got several kilos of capsicums out of there, and about 1 kilo of eggplant as well. So we're probably talking about 10 kilos of produce just from that bed alone. Let's multiply that by 6. we're probably looking at about 60 to 70 kilograms of fresh veggies, beetroots, carrots, capsicums, chilies, you name it, tomatoes. They're going to be flying all around the place. G'day guys, welcome back to Food to Eat. Hey, great day. We're on day 2 of the veggie garden. She's growing really well. You can see we've got a lot of dirt in already. I've just put in the 3 trees straight down in our orchard. We've got one more to buy. What I'm actually doing now is I'm transplanting all my herbs from that particular garden bed there, and I'm whacking them into that bed there, which is going to be a beautiful herb bed. I'm going to put all sorts of things like lavenders and do a beautiful border, a modern border on that side. So when we look from the deck over there, we've got a beautiful modern looking garden. You walk into our veggie garden over here, there's beautiful fragrant herbs, there's flowers, there's bees flying around, there's amazing produce being grown. It's stunning. Let's get back to work. Come on. Up we go. Come on. Here's our beautiful sage. This is his second home. We're putting him down into his final place. He's going to grow in there. He is so healthy. So this is a common sage. This is the one that you guys will be very aware of when you're out at your hardware stores or your nurseries. This is the common sage. She's beautiful, fragrant purple flowers. We want to get her into her new home. Stunning, beautiful sage in her home, in between the quince tree, the peach tree, and the lovely pineapple sage. Welcome to day 3 of the amazing vegetable garden. It's growing really well. Now, as a bit of a recap, obviously we've put all our fruit trees in along here now, which is really, really great. Today I've just bought another pear to add to my other 2 Burbosque and my Sensations pear. I put in a beautiful little Corella pear just up at the end there, which will come up, and I'm gonna cut it so that it creates a nice little archway coming into the veggie garden in time, which will be fantastic, won't it? That's right. Now, so day 3, we've got our herbs going in here like this. We've got our fruit trees in. We're starting to get preparation for our vegetables to come within the next couple of weeks. Now, down into this section here, which will be really nice in summer. It's going to be a bit of shade from the fence, good sun most of the day, and out of the wind. What I've planted in here is 2 crowns of asparagus, which realistically in about 2 years are going to be ready to eat. So it's getting quite exciting. But so what I wanted to talk to you guys about, which is something really, really important when you're doing a veggie garden, is soil quality. And a lot of people these days, being budget conscious, will go out and they'll get crappy potting mix, rubbish like that to grow in. Now, if you're going to do a veggie garden bed, you want to really get the best kind of stuff you can get. So this here is worth about $50 a cubic metre. It's called a triple mix. Obviously it's got topsoil, it's got natural occurring fertilisers in it, it's got manure mixed all through it, and it's a really strong quality soil that the veggies really, really love. The other really important thing about when you're doing your soil is get some nice organic fertiliser. What I've just done with this has been sitting in for about a week, and I've just put some beautiful blood and bone all the way through that. We're going to plant our vegetables in about 2 weeks time, so the energy from that blood and bone is going to, natural fertiliser is going to seep all the way through this dirt, and right up over there, these 6 garden beds are going to be chock-a-block with awesome spring and summer produce. Now, I want to jump from our garden beds here, I want to jump over here. You can imagine you can probably recall this garden bed here. I spoke about it being my fragrance bed. Well, it's taken that one step in that development a little bit further. We're getting ready for our chicken yard over here in our shed, but what I've planted in here is 3 beautiful blueberries. Now those little babies, you've got to protect them from frost, but they're going to grow up to about 1 metre. Sort of big up like this. They're going to fill this whole area in here. I'm going to plant some herbs all around them, and it's going to be beautiful berries all coming through summer. Over there, now that's an Aussie native. That's called a finger lime. These beautiful little tuber-like limes, when you open them up, they actually drop off the tree when they're ready, but when you open them up, they've got little, that looks like caviar within them. So that's actually a pink finger lime. Really tarty, really bang on. It's a great Aussie little product. This one here, I actually found this one. I was really intrigued by it. It's actually called a Chilean guava. So this little plant here produces these lovely little red berries. Not actually in the guava family. Actually, it's actually the other name for it is a strawberry myrtle. So that's really great. It comes from Argentina and from Chile, funnily enough. Also, when we're talking about our fruit trees, now I've just planted this amazing Kerala pear. Over in that corner over there, I've got a Bourbosque, and in the front yard, at the front of the house, I've got a beautiful cocktail sensation pear. Now the idea is, we've got a good 5-6 metres across from these 2 trees here, yeah? The idea is, ladies and gents, is by having all these herbs in here, which are going to be in flower, going to have our beautiful veggies in here, which are all going to be seeding. We've got our beautiful flowers all through there. It's going to be full of awesome nectar. The plan is, I'm going to attract our little bees to come in, pollinate these pear trees, which are going to cross-pollinate between each other, and in theory, we should get amazing fruit. Well, welcome to day 4 of the amazing sustainable garden project we're doing in our backyard to create an amazing sustainable living practice. Alright, we're on to day 4. Today, there's more dirt going in. There's a lot of excitement going in. We're going to try to plant some herb seeds as well. I want to show you this. Now, obviously these fantastic trees I've had down here for the last couple of years are already in place, and they're so big we can't really pull them out and replace them in any way. Now, there has to be dirt that's coming right up, sort of a little bit up them. So I'll show you what I've done. I've created this little box system under here. I'm going to drill that in like that. So if you can see in there, our trees are going to have some fantastic room to still grow, but all the dirt I can build right up to about this level all around them, so we can put our new plants in. There you go. And this little box is going to protect that lovely trunk of that pear tree. It's going to allow that to grow. It's going to allow it to breathe. We can also water that directly into that hole down in there. It's going to be great. It's the best of both worlds. All this will be filled with dirt. Happy. Here we go, the last wheelbarrow load of dirt into our awesome vegetable garden. It's big. I tell you what, 7 cubic metres of soil, all this section here. Isn't it fantastic? So today we've filled all this in here, day 4, all this down here. You can see our boxes have come beautifully around our trees here. That's great. There's going to be all herbs, edible flowers all through here. all underneath there. And the reality is we could even plant carrots and beets, veggies in there as well, which is great. Now there's still the section that goes right up the side of the fence, but that's not the veggie garden, so I'm not too worried about that. So what's next? We're going to plant our seedlings, plant our seeds, and let all our herbs grow in the outside beds. And then, once that's done, then it's time to plant all our veggie beds over and mulch. The most important thing to mulch, keep the moisture in, keep the roots nice and strong. And then in about 6 months' time, this garden bed's here, this veggie garden bed, is going to be sustainable for our family's future. Day 5, it's a beautiful late winter's day, and day 5 is going to be all about planting some tomatoes. I'm going to throw some more colour in. I've got some lovely herbs, some lavender, and we're going to plant all our seed herbs, and that's really important. Let's get cracking. First job is to get some beautiful tomatoes going. So this year I've actually got 7 different types of tomatoes I'm putting in. They're all heirloom types, and with the tomatoes, although I've got seeds which I will plant in the garden tomorrow, I've actually got some heirloom seedlings so they can crack on, so we get them before Christmas time. So I've got in here some Sweet Bite, all cherry tomatoes, Sundrops, Sweet Bites, Little Sugar Yellow, and Tomito. Now, I planted Tomito last year and they were absolutely phenomenal, and they fruited probably 2.5 months. I've also bought these seedlings here, more tomato heirlooms. I've got Black Krim, Mortgage Lifter, that'd be good, wouldn't it, a Mortgage Lifter, and an Oxheart tomato. I'm going to get these into this bed here. Now this bed here, if you recall, was my herb bed last year. So what I want to do is I want to turn that soil over. I've been putting all this organic matter in, like eggshells, all organic stuff. It's really healthy. It's got the old roots from the old herbs all in there. She's all healthy. I'm going to throw some Dynamic Lifter in. It should be bonza. It actually contains composted manure, blood and bone, fish meal, and seaweed. So this little stuff here is absolutely fantastic. We're going to sprinkle this all through the garden, especially the tomato bed. A really interesting little tip when you're doing your tomatoes. Last year, I put them in the bed next to me. This year, I'm moving them to this bed. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to do that every single year, just so the tomatoes tend to be quite deep-rooted. They take a lot of nutrients out of the soil. But that way, we don't cross-pollinate. We get some beautiful, fresh, strong tomatoes in this bed. You can see by here, I'm actually placing these guys pretty close together. Now, you might think that's a bit weird. Generally speaking, you want to put them about 50 centimetres apart. But what I'm going to do here is something a bit different. With these old poles, which was from my boy's trampoline, which I used back over there, I stick them in like that. And I'm going to put a trellis across here like that, so the tomatoes can actually grow on it. So we can actually go really, really high and low, depending on what the little babies are doing. To add to the awesomeness, another little lemon thyme. And to get that bees in, we want to get the colour in. I've put these beautiful lavenders. This here is a princess lavender. It's a little bit camphory. She's not particularly a culinary lavender, but you can use it for cooking. You can use it in custards. You can use it in oils, everything like that. But these beautiful petals here make a great thing to a salad, wouldn't they? So I bought this, which is a princess lavender, and I bought this gorgeous one here, which is called a violet lace. Awesome. So over here, I'm putting in some lovely little nasturtiums. Now, nasturtiums are an edible flower again, which is really, really awesome. Now, the reason I put them into this pot is because I know my mum put them in her garden. They tend to take over everything if they're in a wild bed. Nasturtium. Just bought this beautiful little kiwi berry, which tastes like a kiwi, but it's much sweeter. You can eat the whole thing. It's right next to our Chilean guava, which is awesome. So I'm going to plant that right on the end of this pole, and she's going to grow with this beautiful vine. I'm going to wrap it right along as it grows over the top. Kiwiberry. Last but by no means least is this amazing green globe artichoke, which is actually in the thistle family. She'll grow up 1 to 2 meters tall, like a big thistle plant. It looks pretty ugly, but it shoots out these amazing flowers, and those little flowers there, completely edible. Let's get that in. Guys, now we're on to our herb planting. Now, I've decided this year to put a couple of herbs in from seed. That way, they're going to fill the spaces as they grow, and in theory, they should be flowering around Christmas time, which means we're going to have awesome food videos coming at you. So this little area here I've kept next to my fruit trees. This is where I'm going to put my rosella. Now, as I said, she's an Aussie native, grows to about 2 meters tall. You can see this is all the information that you get on there. So it'll tell you on the back of the seeds here how many seeds are in the packet, the germination rate in a percentage, which is fantastic. So we get 85% germination, when to sow it, direct sowing, how long it flowers in, how much water it uses, position. That's all the information you need to know. All you got to do is put it in a hole, plant the seeds. So I've got calendula, I've got marigold, I've got some coneflower and some chamomile. I'm just going to put them randomly through here. We'll see what happens. Now it's just a matter of watering it all in and letting it grow. And our last job for the day is to plant these lovely pansies. You can see we've got our edible pansies over there as well. But all these little violas and pansies we can actually eat. We can use them as garnish. We've got all different pastels and purples and oranges. They're great, aren't they? They're good flowers, good flowers, good flowers. We're going to plant them now, and then we look forward to day 6 tomorrow. Day 6 tomorrow. We plant veggies. Veggies! Ah! Veggies! Oh, where's he going? I don't know, he's gone. Well guys, we have reached it. We've reached day number 6, which is our veggie planting day, isn't it? Veggie planting day. Veggie planting day. It's the day it's all happening. All these beds here are going to be planted over. Four farrows to plant our seeds.
Peas and beans. There. Daddy.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. Okay, let's fill it in. Go.
What are we done doing? No, we've done it.
Well done, Logie. Give me a thumbs up. All right, my next two little babies, I'm putting in some chili. It's called a chili mild-mannered mix and a capsicum 7-coloured mix. Now, the reason I've gone these is because in these packets, there's all these fantastic different types of capsicums and chilies, as the beetroots, as the carrots, which are called an heirloom mix. We're also doing eggplant like that as well. So when we plant the seeds, we don't really know what we're putting in. And that's kind of exciting to me as a chef. It's really, you know, you don't know what you're growing until it's ready to go. And so as it starts to fruit, we're going to actually be able to see what type of veggies are growing on those vines. So it's pretty exciting. This is our chili and capsicum bed. Let's get it going. And look at this. These are the chili seeds. And as you can see, now there's about 5 or 6 different types of chilies in there, which is on that list there. We don't actually know what is what. We've got no idea. And that's exciting. We'll put it down and let's plant these babies. Check out this. A little bee's coming to investigate. Not long, buddy. Not long. It's completely done. Our vegetable garden at this stage, which you guys are going to see, is completely awesome, and it's all finished. We've got red Brussels sprouts, long iron Brussels sprouts, yellow, white and green zucchini. Over here we've got the blueberries, we've got the kaffir limes, we've got the Chilean guava, we've got kiwi berry, we've got grapes to come, we've got loganberry, 2 different types of passion fruit, edible violas and pansies, we've got artichoke. Then we come down to our awesome herbs over here, more edible violas here, nasturtium, coriander, parsley, mints in here. There's our strawberry bed. She's looking exciting, isn't it? Over here we've planted marigold, we've planted bergamot, all through here like this. We've got our pear trees all growing, we've got our apple trees in here, we've got more marigold, more bergamot, we've got calendula, we've got echinacea, coneflowers, you name it, it's all in here. Our plum is flowering, asparagus, apple. Here's our fragrant herb bed all through here. Our new fruit trees, our silver beets are in here, our fennels are in here, we've got mountain corn, we've got honey and cream corn in this side. Here's our 7 different types of tomatoes. Here's the lads' beds over here. The lads have planted 3 different types of beans, a beautiful purple Dutch pea, heirloom beetroots, heirloom carrots, leeks, more carrots and beetroots, 7 different types of chilies, all the beautiful heirloom capsicums in there. And in this final bed, we've got okra and we've got heirloom eggplants. That's it, guys. What a phenomenal experience this Food to Eat episode has been. What we're going to be doing over the next few weeks is we're going to be mulching our beds as soon as those seedlings pop up about yay big. We're going to be mulching our beds so they're nice and warm, get them ready for the hotter spring, hotter summer. And then this beautiful bed here will start to produce our amazing fruit and vegetables for our Food to Eat. So guys, I'm Bev Varland. Check in next time for our awesome adventure Food to Eat. And you can see all this amazing vegetable garden finished, growing and producing sustainable food for the future. Catch you later.